But I've fallen in love on the game. I've made friendships in the game that carry outside of being online to the point where it's like, oh, well, I want to move closer to you. Like, if y'all are gonna like have kids, like I want to be your neighbor. Like I want to have life, future. Because if the internet went out tomorrow, it's like, well, how am I gonna like talk to you? So I think it's interesting to have those outside relationships from it come into play, and there's a lot of experiences.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Sweet Talking Podcast with me, your host, Nefertiti. And I'm joined tonight by none other than BeezleBoop, otherwise will be known as Beez for the duration of tonight's podcast. Just for the sake of, saying things quickly, we don't want to get tongue-tied this evening, but who knows what'll happen this evening. But I appreciate you all tuning in. But before we get into tonight's podcast, episode 38, no doubt, I want to quickly thank all of the people who've been so supportive of me, those people who've been watching the podcast up until this point, people who are newly and joined the podcast now, and those people who have liked and subscribed on YouTube, as well as people who have followed me on on Twitch. Yes, on Twitch, and also on Twitter. That'd be much appreciated too. But thank you all very much for your support in that way. And I definitely want to thank my patrons, the people who've been very, very supportive of tonight's podcast, of the content that I'm creating. I truly do appreciate it very, very much. And if you're interested in supporting the podcast in a more direct way, there is a Patreon, patreon.com/Nefertiti. So I do this all on my own. This is a one-woman show. And I appreciate any and all support you are willing to give. But thank you all so much. You all are pretty fucking badass. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into episode 38 with none other than Beez.
It's me.
With you. So, how are you tonight?
Doing good.
Nice, okay.
Vibing.
All right. You and I have, we've been passing, from I would say, for about maybe a couple of months, before I joined VRGang, our contacts have been kind of in passing. I knew of you, and I don't know if you knew of me because I'm just I'm nobody anybody, I mean for a long while I'd say that I was nobody, but for the time being, we were kind of in passing, and then we just kind of eventually we just had a chance to kind of talk after I joined, soon after I joined VRGang. We kind of were chatting and talking about stuff, and that's how we kind of really initially started chatting. Yeah. But I'm curious of, my first impression of you is very, very bubbly, very sweet. And also, once I kind of learned what you do creatively, and the extent of what you can do creatively, and then I'm like, oh wow, she's also really fucking creative too, and that's amazing. I really admire that in a person. So I had a pretty good, pretty positive first impression of you. Just out of vague curiosity, what was your first impression of me?
Well, I learned because Jax was on the podcast, and I was like, oh, a podcast, and then Jax is on it, and then this person, and I watched your vlogs and stuff, the ones that you did have. I subscribed to you on YouTube, and I thought you were nice. And then I was shy to talk to you, because then I had that idea for the award show thing, and I was like, it should be perfect. And then yeah, but I was shy, so I waited till you joined VRG to be like, aha, I have an in now. She's ours now.
Yeah. Nothing to be shy about.
It's people shy.
Well, I mean, I guess you could say I was pretty shy to talk to most people in VRG, but I had a feeling that you were a pretty important person in VRG. I know important person is pretty relative. in terms of like what we're doing, when it comes to like VRChat and everything. But all in all, still a very important person who's been a part of that whole project for quite some time. So I was definitely very shy, to talk to you as well. Just a little bit of that too, yeah. So feelings mutual.
Yeah.
Yeah. But tonight at least we'll be able to kind of continue to chip on that ice block and hopefully make a one hell of a breakthrough, and we'll get to know each other, and who knows where that'll take us in the future. So I'm really looking forward to getting to know you. Nice.
Same.
Hell yeah. So, how about we start at the beginning, like we do with most of our guests. Who is Beez? Who's BeezleBoop? You can be as detailed or as I would appreciate not vagueness, but you can be as detailed as you'd like. So, yeah. Tell everybody who you are.
Well, I am BeezleBoop. I started streaming not as a VR chatter about 4 or 5 years ago, I don't remember. But yeah, that kind of involved into getting into VR and being like, oh my god, I can be an anime girl on the internet? This is amazing. And then started VRChat, I think mid-2020. Got into Blender, started making stuff. That's where all that creativity came from. Then I met those, VRGang nerds, those guys. And I've been with them for 3 years. I stream, I do Blender, I do Unity. I'm getting into voice acting soon. Getting back into cosplay soon. I do everything.
So yeah, you're very, very active in a lot of creative areas, which as someone who also has a fair bit of creativity in a number of areas, like I get it, but it's also like the level at which like you do these things. I'm kind of curious about that. Like how I guess how would you like rate yourself in terms of like those skill sets, in terms like how good you are at all of those things?
I would say I'm the best at Blender. Blender is my heart. I hate Unity. I could do bare minimum in Unity. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say I'm about like a 9 at Blender. Like avatar creation, asset creation, do substance painter stuff. That's what the substance is, like a 3. Unity's probably 2. I do digital art. I would say I'm probably give myself like a 7. It could be better, but like I'm not bad at it. Everything else is just jack of all trades. I would give it like a solid like 5 or 6 and everything else.
Gotcha. Okay. So like, how do you keep up with all of those skills? And like, I guess like how do you keep up with all those skills? Like how do you keep them fresh? You said you've been doing them for about since about the time that you first found out about VRChat. A lot of these skills kind of came along with that, or was it before or after you heard about VRChat? Did those skills kind of come into play?
Oh. No. Am I back? Are you back?
You're back.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I keep up with all this stuff? Very stressful at times. I get overwhelmed easy because I put a lot on my plate. But,
I imagine.
It just kind of like, it never really goes away. You just like pick it up one day and it's like, oh, okay. Like, this is how it is. Although when explaining Blender to people, I can't like tell them how to do something without having my hands on a keyboard because it's all like hotkey muscle memory.
So like everyone has like their own they have their own methodology of how to approach Blender, and you've kind of established your own.
Yeah, Stemma likes to say I do things the long hard way, but that's just how I learned how to do it.
So basically self-taught, yeah?
All
right. how long did that take you to I guess get to a like your opinion of your work is up to a 9. Like how long did it take you to get that to get as confident as you are in your Blender work?
So about last year.
Which is
'Cause,
about
you know,
like
there's
how long?
avatars with like clips and 3 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so
And I had
oh go ahead, go ahead.
I learned doing avatars when I joined VRChat. I joined the roleplay community, so like super optimized, one mesh, one texture. So that's how I learned to do avatars. Very, very clean.
Got you. So so the one that you're styling right now is your custom work? Is that the case?
Yeah. Me by me.
Oh yeah. Like I honestly there's nothing like there's nothing more like interesting than someone who's like taking the time to build their own personal brand, essentially like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
building up that entire look that you'll be styling, you know, for everything. Essentially when you're like
Yeah.
at least for VR chat wise, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Look at it
yeah.
and be like, that's a Beezle avatar right there. That screams BeezleBoop.
Oh yeah. What would you say is your most defining feature? But I know this is kind of like we're talking about content right now, which I won't quite want to get into just yet. But hey, we're here. Like what is the most defining feature of the avatars that you make?
Usually they're blonde and have blue eyes. I used to be a fox girl, but you know, I'm a cat now.
Hmm.
Have wings now. This is new, but yeah, definitely the blonde and pink.
Okay.
It's a trademark.
Gotcha. All right. And where I was going to go was, where did your name come from? How did you come up with the name BeezleBoop?
I love that story. I think it was 2011 or 2010. I had a cat. She was an orange tabby, which are usually male, but she was a girl and I loved her. And the name just kind of like stood out to me, just kind of like popped in the head, like, oh, BeezleBoop, love that. That's your name. And she ran away, and I was so sad that I just kind of like, you know what? I'm changing all of my online things. I'm gonna be BeezleBoop because I love that cat so much. And I learned later on that there's a demon named Beelzebub. And I was like, oh, mine's like a cute way to say this. And it's fitting because I love, you know, demonology and stuff like that as well. So it worked out.
Okay. So you named yourself after a cat that ran away?
Yeah, I loved her.
Interesting. I don't know, like I would like from what I've heard from, you know, I've owned 2 cats myself, so, you know, I'm also a cat lover. Obviously. Obviously I'm a cat lover. So basically like most people would be disappointed or like sad. Like they're like, oh, my cat ran away, you know, I wouldn't rebrand my entire identity to this cat that I really love that's gone somewhere, you know? I'm kind of curious as to kind of like what is like what I guess what inspires you to want to do that? I know you said you really loved your cat, but like there was no like remorse, you know, just I want to like remember
it. The remembrance, I liked saying it, like just the way it like kind of comes out of the mouth, and she just wasn't like a normal cat, I guess. Like to me, she wasn't. She just had like so much personality, and I just felt like she was, you know, there to take care of me when I needed someone to back then. It's kind of a way to like keep her a part of me.
Gotcha. And are your colors representative of the cat at all?
Oh no, I just like pink.
Oh, okay. I mean, hey, the cat could have been a white colored for all I know, but you know.
That's true.
All Okay, that's cool. I mean, that's that's very interesting. Like I always like to hear about names of people that they choose because like a name says a lot about a person, and like there can be a lot of things wrapped up in why a person chooses a certain name. So yeah, like I always like to know. So thanks for sharing the story. It's very very heartwarming. So as much as I want to like talk more about like the content and stuff that you make, we'll get more into that later on. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I want to ask. I guess we can jump right into like the VRChat stuff. And yeah, so how did VRChat start for you? How did it begin?
Well, yeah, I was streaming before, and just being on YouTube, it was the freaking Knuckles meme. I was seeing it everywhere. So I was like, what even is this? Where is this from?
Was
So
that
I
like
was
2020?
oh, like, I think 2019 or 2020. Well, 2020 for me. I don't know when Knuckles actually became a thing.
Mhm.
But I was like, what is Knuckles? Where does this come from? And it was like, oh, VRChat. So I was like, oh, let me watch a couple of VRChat videos on YouTube. And I found, I don't remember the first person's name, but they rated into VRChat Man.
Mhm.
And so I found him. And I was like, oh my god, this person's amazing. They're so funny. And then they rated into someone named Snow SOS. Adore him. He's amazing. He's hilarious. And I was like, okay, this is my person. So I took from YouTube to like Twitch, because he's had a Twitch, and I was like, oh cool, another Twitch streamer. So I was watching him on Twitch, and he rated Hat Kid, who was my first community. I was his first subscriber. He's a little people partner now, all grown up. And that's how I got into the RP community, was through Hat Kid. And then I got my first headset, which I traded my brother my Nintendo Switch for, and he gave me his Rift. And then yeah, that's how it was.
So basically you're saying that just from watching different streamers, Hat Kid, VRChat Man, just from kind of getting introduced to VRChat streamers, or other videos from YouTube and then to Twitch,
Yeah.
you're just like, this looks really really fun, or cool,
Mhm.
and you're like, oh, I'm gonna give it a try. And that was like,
Yeah.
okay, and that was around 2019, 2020.
It was like mid 2020, yeah.
Okay.
Because then I joined VRGang in 2021. I think.
Okay. Nice. So, with that in mind, so can you tell us about like what was it about, like once you got into VRChat, what was it that really kind of kept you here? What was it everything that you expected it to be?
It wasn't in the regard of, YouTube content's very much not staged, but it is like, we're recording, go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But being around like Hat Kids community, like I made a bunch of friends, and then getting to hang out with them like in game and get shown all of like the cool stuff the game has to offer. That's what kind of the people made me stick around.
Which makes sense because at the core of everything, VRChat is about the people. Just at the very core of like everything that our experiences here are very very socially geared. And it's only through the innovations of other world creators that we are able to have like singular kind of experiences, or like go places where we can kind of like be by ourselves kind of thing. So yeah, it definitely comes down to the social aspect of things. So I guess you how did you, well, I don't want to get into VRGang stuff yet. We will get into that later. I want to stay focused on you and your experiences in VRChat. So can you walk us through our, you all good? You alive? Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. So can you walk us through your kind of your evolution through VRChat? Like, getting your first Avi, like what aspects of VRChat kind of led you into getting into Blender stuff, which then led you to finding VRGang, which then led you to everything else that you do in VRChat right now.
I think it was just like a public world that kind of led into being like, oh well, I like the white hair on this, just kind of like piecing together what I want. I don't think I actually bought one until I made a couple of my own. I just kind of rocked the public versions. And I think the first one I ever made was an elf girl with pink hair. So that was the start of BEEZ.
And how soon? I'm sorry, but really quickly, how soon did you start like making your own Avies before I guess starting to like purchase them? Like, how long into your sit into VRChat did you start making Avies?
I want to say like 3 or 4 months in. Because none of the ones that like first sale really stood out to me, so I was like, I'm just gonna make my own. How do I do it? And they're like, oh, you need Blender. Oh, like here's this stuff. Here's some tutorials. And I was like, thanks.
Okay.
And then another friend kind of like taught me how to optimize things. All right, here's the start of it. You want to like import all this stuff. Get this like add-on. Cool. And he showed me how to do it one time, and I was like, I got you. I'll make you proud. And then I have years later, and then I think the first time I bought one was a year in. I was definitely in VRGang the first time I bought an avatar.
That's so interesting that you started making your own Avi before you decided to buy one. It's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
That's
they weren't the best avatars.
Yeah, like cuz I stayed with Publix, and then after like a period of time I'm just like, I'm tired of Publix. I'm tired of looking like everyone else, or I'm just tired. Like, the more you learn about VRChat and like how avatars are made, and world creation, and just like the quality, like what it means to like be an avatar that has quality and that is like uniquely like ideally you. That's when I was just like, I should just learn how to upload avatars and buy one, which I did.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't yet gotten into like the Blender stuff yet. But that's so interesting that you kind of went backwards. And did you do that because you thought that was the right way, or was it because like you're just like you genuinely wanted to try to make your own rather than just because you said the paid ones didn't appeal to you at the time?
Yeah, I just wanted something more like custom and that like fit me, because most of the ones for sale were like really gothic and too much for me. But until I got an avatar to like work proper, not clip and like be crazy, I would switch between like, oh hey, I made this, it's scuffed but it's fine, and then like some of the publics that I had favorited.
Gotcha.
Until I got better.
Makes sense. And were you creating VRChat content at that time?
When did I start doing VRChat streams? Oh man. I think I didn't start streaming VRChat until about a year into being in VRGang. Kind of like took a year break because I went from IRL streaming to life happening, so like took like a year off and then got back into it about a year into VRG. So like late 2021, early 2022.
I see. Okay. All right. So then from like your time in like early 2022 to the point where you're making your own Avies, you had been like a year into VRG. Like at around like 2022, like what are you doing? Like in VRChat. Both I guess we'll say like as you, not as like the content creator, but as you personally. What kind of stuff were you up to in VRChat around that time, after like having experienced it for, at that time, somewhere in the vein almost 3-ish years by that point? So like what was kind of keeping you here, and what were you up to?
Playing games, because there were like a whole bunch of like, I think Udon was like really popular. Like there's always like something new with Udon. So it's like, oh, check out this new game world. Oh, there's like a boxing world. Let's go have like boxing competitions. And of course, like the roleplay community's like been around. I didn't do it much, like a few times, but I enjoyed that crowd. Because in my heart, I'm a theater kid. I'm too shy to be one, but in my heart, I am.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So, so you were more so, you kind of like your kind of entry into VRChat, like your initial community was the role playing community, yeah? Okay. Makes sense. Okay. So, so you were interacting with them, and how long did that last? How much longer did I guess your time in the with the role players last? Are you still kind of associated with them? I mean, obviously, you know, we're like 2 years away from like where the point of where we're talking about, but you know, I guess what led you up to, you know, 2024, and if you're still associated with them, or have things changed?
I still talk to a couple of them. They come to the parties and stuff. A handful of them. I don't really join like because they only get on VR anymore to roleplay, and I don't want to like join their lobby like, hey guys. But it started off with a mutual from the RP community that got me to meet people in VRG, and from there it's just kind of like, oh well, we can just like casually play games and hang out and like party. And then I devolved into e-girl.
So it took 5 years for you to become tainted by the VRC disease.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was innocent.
Interesting. And you know, it's really funny that you say that the paid avenues were like really gothic, because that is a really heavy trend that I was observing, like just in general. Like a lot of the free abbeys that existed on VRC were very much like gothic looking, and I'm just like, why does every avatar have like piercings in their nose, piercings everywhere? Yeah. Like, why is that, like, does that have to be a thing? So that's really also what made me want to like move into like purchasing one, because I was just tired of like I want to kind of represent myself in a way. Not that there's anything wrong with having piercings, but it's just not my style, like even IRL.
Right.
So yeah, like it makes sense to kind of want to do that. So yeah, got you. So that's okay. That's very interesting. And like, how many hours do you think that you have on VRC now?
Probably not a whole bunch, to be honest. Totally not me pulling it up to look. I have 2,777. An angel number. That's 3,000.
Okay. So 2,777, yeah?
Yeah.
That's wild. So after... Well, that doesn't make me look very good now, does it?
Well, I don't sleep in VR.
Well, I mean, I don't sleep in VR that much. I mean, calling me out, jeez. But yeah, like you've been VRChat for 5 years, and I'm just getting to 2 years, and I have more hours than you. So you know, I don't know what that says about me, but maybe I have a problem. But I think honestly, I think I do better than most. You know, I honestly think I do better than most. I think that's 2,000, nearly 3,000 hours for almost 2 years. I think that makes sense. I think that's reasonable for like
Yeah.
the average the average content creator.
That's fairly common.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, that's cool. So what's one thing about VRC that you wish that you could change, or you wish that you could, that wish that you could change or improve? And one thing that you really do enjoy about VRChat, you can't say people though. You can't say socializing.
I think recently my thing that I've discussed with people is comparing it to Roblox, which is kind of weird, but they have a feature with Roblox now that you can ID verify on the game, where you have access to, I guess 18 plus like clubs, like Club World. Like, it's still a kids game, so you can't be all weird on it, but there are worlds that ID verified people can access that people who aren't can't. And I think that's pretty interesting and a way to kind of safeguard the kids online on the game.
So can you kind of walk us through that though? I've never heard of that before. So are you saying that like Roblox is using VRChat to ID people, or is it like the other way around?
Oh, Roblox has ID verification on their own game,
Okay.
so that way you can get into like 18 plus worlds for like clubs and adult themed games.
Oh, okay. But
I think that would be fun implemented into games.
Oh, as an improvement for VRChat.
Yeah, to keep the kids safe on the game.
Yes, agreed. And
Safety.
yeah, safety is very, very important. So I completely agree. Like anything that will keep children away from adult spaces, definitely appreciated. And hopefully that can be implemented in some way. I've definitely talked to other guests about similar safety matters, and yeah, it's been interesting just to hear what kinds of ideas that people wish existed or that could be implemented. So yeah, absolutely, yeah, kid safety, 100%, especially on a platform like this. So yeah. So one thing that you really appreciate about VRChat that isn't social related, like like the people or whatever, something different.
I like how it lets people express themselves, like with what they're able to create. Like, Unity's not really the best engine, but the stuff that the community has been able to come up with, like even with just like the programming. Like there's a water park world where you get in the water and it actually takes you down the slide. Like that wasn't a thing back in like 2020. And it just keeps getting better and more immersive, and I like that.
So you're appreciative of the technologies that are improving and that are being implemented so that worlds like that can be created, or are you thankful for the world creators who are brilliant enough to come up with those ideas using the tools that exist?
Both. The creative what is the word? Outlet that it provides to the people. Some of the stuff's like insane.
And like, can you what is, I guess, what world in VRChat has like really like blown your mind as a creator yourself? What world in VRChat has really kind of impressed you?
I would say my favorite one to go to, just to like kind of sit and hang out in, is Shadow Factory, because of the way like the lighting is in it. Like just that alone is it. I don't know. That blows my mind. It just looks really pretty.
Shadow Factory is definitely a classic. I've never gone there by myself. I've only gone there with people. I should probably try to go there by myself at some point. But yeah, it's definitely it's a world I think most people in VRChat who've been like around for at least a year probably know about, because it's a pretty iconic world, just in general. So yeah, very good choice. So with regards to VRChat, why? Let me see. Have you? I guess if you were to kind of describe VRChat in like a couple of words or like a couple of sentences, how would you describe VRChat to someone who's never heard about it or seen it before, don't know what it is, and or maybe okay, well actually we'll go with that. What would you say to someone who's never heard of VRChat before, and how would you describe it to them?
I recently had to do this with my best friend, my real best friend. Basically, it's a video game where you put the headset on. I have feet. Not many people have feet in game, surprisingly.
We're getting there though. It's becoming less. It's becoming more common for sure.
Right. But you fully immersed in this video game where you're this super hot anime woman or man, whatever you like. And you just get to hang out with people, and it's just this virtual experience of hanging out.
Okay.
She thought it was okay, but I don't know.
So when you're, if you were challenged with and so what? So how would you kind of how would you defend it?
I'd say what we're doing right now, we could be doing it on a beach without leaving your room, or we can go to outer space or to an amusement park. I don't think there's anything you can't really do in VRChat. There's a world for everything. You can go out to a club without, I don't know, the people being right up on you, paying cover charges, having creepy guys come up to you.
Well, you can
dancing
still,
on you.
You can still have creepy guys coming up and dancing on you in VRChat. That can always happen for sure. It's just not as common, but it definitely can happen.
You can take it off and be like, oh, I'm home now. Great, I love that. No Uber.
Yeah. It is pretty great. Very convenient to be able to just kind of be there and then kind of check out if you so choose. It's very convenient in that regard. But yeah, you can have very, very realistic, meaningful connecting experience with people, which is I think that makes VRChat pretty interesting. Very fascinating as a platform. So let's say a similar question to the one I just asked you. Let's say that you were trying to change someone's mind who had a bad experience in VRChat. Let's say they came in contact with a troll who crashed everybody in the world, or maybe they went to a Black Cat instance where someone was just being a complete idiot and blasting their music and they didn't know what to do, and everyone, it was just oh, it's just VRChat's just full of kids, blah blah blah. They had no matter what it could be, someone had a bad experience in VRChat. How would you what would you say about VRChat to them to hopefully change their mind?
I would tell them that they did it wrong, and to come with me, and I will show them the better world of VRChat than the landing zone of public. Because it's really about the right people that makes the game enjoyable, not the public weirdos.
But
they need to play games.
But yeah, Publix is where we all start. We all kind of we begin there. It's very, it's very.
I started with a community.
Oh well, yeah, you definitely got very, very lucky. You were very, very fortunate to know content creators.
I didn't get traumatized.
Yeah. So you already had a place to land when you first jumped in, which is not very common. The average person is just kind of what is this? And they jump into it.
Take my hand, trust me.
Yeah. But yeah, I honestly think with VRChat, it can very much kind of turn people off because there are just you don't know what it can be very much a mixed bag. But I also think that there's kind of a, for those of us who've been in VRChat for a long time, like you've been in VRChat for like almost like 5 years at this point. For me, it's been 2 years, but you could say that I've been in VRChat for 5 years because of the level of the amount of time I've spent and the content that I create and like just everything that I've done, and just as a content creator in general, like you understand that VRChat can very well be like a really, really fun place, a great experience if you meet the right people. But yeah, like it's like the Publix is where it begins. But I had a really kind of wild idea. I had a wild idea, a real wild concept. Once you kind of get into like, once you kind of get into people groups and like you're like a part of a community of sorts, you basically are like in a situation where you can potentially like meet other people like very, very often because you have that group of people, but you're also meeting new people. So in a way, hear me out. What we are doing right now as experienced VRChat players, doing those group instances and stuff, a group plus instance is just an upgraded public.
It really
it's public for the veterans. But we
want to meet new people.
yeah. Like, which is like that's to me, I think that's a pretty wild concept. Like, I only thought of it recently, but like it's like you're very much in a situation where you're meeting people who actually know how to experience VRChat. And if you're so lucky to find a group plus instance, like you're essentially experiencing a public instance with people who probably genuinely want to be in VRChat. And they don't want to fuck up anyone else's experience too. But it's essentially like a new form of public. Yeah, everyone's genuinely there to have a good time. And that's just, I think that's kind of wild to think about, that we essentially have I guess I wouldn't say reinvented the wheel. We've kind of taken the wheel and we're still using the same one, but we just we know how to use it in a more advanced way. Our wheel is a little bit more advanced because we know so much more, and so we can speed up the process of people's learning of VRChat so much more. Have you ever met anybody? Yeah. But like, have you ever met anybody that like was just kind of wandering into like a group plus instance who like didn't know anybody? Have you ever like met anyone like that?
I feel like I'm usually really drunk at those.
Join the club.
Yeah.
I won't leave you hanging.
Run up and say hi to like everyone, or like run up into a group, be like hi, and then keep running. You certainly, from what I've observed, when you get going, you certainly like to just you're just zooming. You get the zoomies when you're drunk, it seems. I do.
Yeah.
I love it. She's amazing. I love drunk me.
A cat through and through, I think one would say. Yeah. So, I'm curious as to your thoughts, because I know that you seem to keep up with technology. You seem to be very insightful about just you have a curiosity for things of VR and the tools that are utilized in VR, or at least in VRChat at least. I'm curious as to where you foresee VR technology going, or like where would you envision VR technology go ideally?
I want the normal to be everyone in like full haptic. That would be cool. Full dive, like immersion, out the wazoo, like the VR treadmill.
So Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Very nice. Love that. So that would be the ideal. I mean, I would be down for that too. So like, is there so I guess where do you see where do you see VR technology based on like what you know and the tools that are there? Like where do you see VR going in the next 5 years?
In the next 5, I would say everyone's gonna have like facial tracking, eye tracking. Everyone's gonna be in full body, and if not like basic full body, most people are gonna have like the, how many points is it, with the upper arms and the chest.
11 point.
Yeah, that's gonna be, we're gonna be schmoovin'. Real schmoovin'.
So you're saying it's going to be a standard. You're predicting it'll be a standard for everyone to be fully like linked up to whatever equipment they have, like whether it be like a full haptic suit or just like the like smaller. I would imagine Vibe would like improve their technology. The 4.0s would be like little itty bitty like little circles or something like that. The technology will continue to.
Battery life.
Yeah. For sure. So like it's like so we're gonna be fully like it's gonna be a standard for everyone to have like the full shebang, 11 point.
Yeah, not just like casual either. This is like full on VR.
It would be interesting if like you could actually purchase a headset, and it would be like the entire bundle would be 11 point tracking. And it'd be like $500.
Oh God, I wish.
In the future,
Yeah, in the future.
Yeah. But that would be something. I think that'd be pretty amazing. And also like the headset technology. Where do you see that going? Based on technology that we've seen come out, like big screen. The Apple. I'm loath to say the Apple Vision Pro, but it exists. It's not really anything, but it exists. So, like, where do you see headset technology going?
I think we're gonna get probably one good one that's gonna come out, and that's gonna be like the Index now is like that's what people want. But I think there's gonna be one good one that comes out, and if the company is smart, it would suck for us, but smart for them business-wise to kind of have it, but do like Apple does and be like, oh, well, you want eye tracking? That's an extra peripheral you have to buy. You want facial tracking? That's an extra peripheral. And just kind of have it parted out that way so you still get the experience and it's all like compatible, same company. But it's a good business venture for them, money-wise, while also keeping it kind of like standard and low cost by default. And just having it perform well, better than the other ones. So these cables on these Indexes suck.
They do. They really do. Like, you literally have to buy one like every like 8 months. It's not fun. I definitely have to replace mine. Actually, it's starting to show the fun sparkles. The fun sparkles you see when you stub your toe. It's those are starting to appear because of the fucking wire. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But yeah, it would be pretty awesome if we got to a point in technology where you could have like a standard version. Like you could have like, you could have the same, like, again, 5 years from now, ideally. You could have like the standard, like the original Index with like 11 point tracking for like $500, and then you'd have like the Index Pro for like $700, which doesn't include the eye tracking or the facial tracking or anything, but you have better trackers, and like the headset maybe does a little bit more. Maybe the resolution is a little bit better. And then you have like the next version of that, which is like I was gonna say Apple. The Index the Index Pro Plus, where it's like the same price point as the Index now, which is $1,000 if you get the entire bundle. But it's like it's the base stations, it's 11 point tracking, and you get like at least like eye and facial tracking also with all of it. So like you could have like tiers to like get people into headsets, and we're using Index because like it's kind of like I would say Index is
the gamer one.
Yeah, it's the gamer one. It's the gold standard, I would say, currently. Quest 3 is pretty popular It's getting pretty good momentum, I would say. But yeah, like Index is kind of like the end all be all because like you know, fingies, yes, yeah, absolutely. So like, you know, we want those features, but if we make it, I'm hoping that companies will make it so that you're not like Apple, who are like saying, oh, only the rich people can use this technology, and
Yeah.
and like it'll be like you can still have like a full body experience while not breaking your wallet, you know?
Right.
That could be the
Anyone can
future.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. So I do think that we definitely do agree with that. So you were saying yeah. So you were saying full dive. How far would you want to go when it comes to full dive technology? Like sort of online level?
Oh no. No neural link.
Okay. So you're not a fan of what Elon Musk is trying to do, you know?
No, I don't want to get trapped in the metaverse. I don't know, just having things be more immersive, because I know there are people that have the haptic, they have like all the point tracking, everything's basically tracked. And that just seems like such a cool experience to like have in VR, especially with the play space some people have. Oh my god. It'd be incredible. It's like taking like what we have now and like putting it where we all envisioned VR would be when you think virtual reality.
So basically within the confines of what we currently know as virtual reality, just taken up a notch with the level of technology, most likely sleeker hardware, and just more immersive experiences, a la Ready Player One.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So let's jump into the idea. Let's talk about BEEZ IRL versus BEEZ in VR. How different are the two?
I'm shy IRL. And I'm Southern. So I have a Southern accent, which it comes out sometimes when I'm drinking and I'm mad. I don't know if you've gotten lucky enough to hear it, but
No, I don't think so.
I'm very Southern. I hide it pretty well. I'm 4'10". I don't know. Like I've met a couple of people from VR IRL. One of which at a music festival we went to afterwards, a drag show, which was at this gay club in Austin. And I'm a little bit neurospicy. So I don't like loud music or noises. And at clubs, there's loud music and noises. So the whole time I'm with my cup, just like standing there, frozen up, deer in headlights. And my friend had to come over, like, "Hey, are you good? Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm here. I'm existing. It's fine."
Okay.
So very situational comfort. I'm a Chihuahua.
IRL.
Yeah.
Okay. And how is that different from? Well, I mean, I can see the differences myself. I'm asking just kind of to get it from your mouth directly. Like how is BEEZ and VR different from what you just described, if at all?
I'm more outgoing. A lot more less insecure. I'm still insecure, but I don't try to show that. I'm more like in your face in VR, like, "Hey, what's up? Let's talk about boobies."
Gotcha. So, all in all, you're more.
I'm a gremlin.
And why do you think that is? Why comparatively, you know, I'm curious as to where kind of that distinction needs to be made, and like why do you feel more shy IRL comparatively to being in VR when essentially it's we're still having social experiences here in VR as we do IRL. How do you understand the idea of being more gremlin-y in VR than you are IRL?
Well, with the insecurity, like IRL, like I do have body dysmorphia. Like I don't like the way I look sometimes. So it's easier to kind of like not have that worry in social situations. And then mixed with how I grew up being Southern, the social standard, I guess, was very like, sit down, be quiet, don't do that. People, what are they gonna think? So it's very reserved in that sense. Whereas online, you have all these other people and all these other outlets where you're just like, okay, these people, they're how I want to be. Like I can finally like express myself without the finger of shame. There's a lot more freedom.
Got you. So it's just would you say that you are living a different life here than you are IRL?
Say so, just given that like freedom to be yourself.
And how did you, I guess, figure out who, I guess, which version of yourself is you? You have the version of yourself IRL, you have the version of yourself in VR. Which version is you, would you say?
I would say the virtual one, the no filter.
Yeah.
She has more fun. I have fun, but definitely like this BEEZ is definitely who I am.
So minus all of the body dysmorphia and just those issues that kind of come with your upbringing essentially. You're allowed to kind of express express yourself in a more
Yeah,
free way.
it's all personality.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm getting at is, I understand that the IRL like has a lot of difficulties and can be very, very tough to kind of, deal with people and, having them like, perceive you in an IRL setting. So, um, so how did you come to figure out that this version of yourself that you portray here is still you? I mean, it's still like, how did you come to understand that about yourself, given that what you previously knew was just what you knew before VRChat became a part of your life?
Ooh. I feel like it's always kind of been there because we had different games aside from like VRChat when I was growing up. Like there was Gaia Online, there was I played a game called Latel, a big MMO person. So there was always that like online present personality where it's like, oh my god, hello. Well, back then it was like, oh my god, roar, XD, haha. But there's always that like tucked away side that I kind of kept pushed back. Like, okay, like this is me. I'm gonna keep her on the internet. She's my little safe baby.
So it's kind of like the version of yourself that you've been keeping safe until you can express her properly in a space without without judgment.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And I think that's really interesting. I always find the idea of like, people who find a different version of themselves here. I feel like most people who experience VRChat have a way of finding a different version of themselves here because for whatever reason they couldn't quite understand themselves enough IRL to even have the opportunity to explore those other parts of themselves, those other aspects of themselves that they have been unconsciously keeping hidden. In most cases, it seems it's a very unconscious thing that people do, and it's only when they come to understand the inherent freedom to ultimately reinvent yourself in a virtual space, or like in an MMO, like you mentioned before. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's kind of the same thing, no matter, like, depending on your time in the game, you're still kind of presenting yourself in a certain light, and you have the option to be completely different from who you are IRL. But I truly do believe that people who express themselves in a certain way here do have that capacity to express themselves IRL. There may just be, like, roadblocks there, but it's very, very interesting. I said roadblocks, not Roblox, by the way. Just want to be clear about that. Yeah. So yeah, like, I truly believe that people can express themselves, and every aspect of themselves that exists in both realms, let's say, is a part of themselves. But I just find it interesting how we segment ourselves. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Some people adopt, like, personas, like, online. That's just a character that they just be online, versus, like me, like, the side of themselves that they just, like, push out instead of just, oh, this is a completely, like, this is just who I am. This is the person I play online. There's a couple people I've met like that, where it's just like, oh, that's just a character I do for shits and giggles on the internet.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, well, okay.
Yeah, and like, how do you feel about that? Does that, do you have opinions about that? I guess, with regards to yourself and, meeting others like that?
I mean, I like it. Whatever makes people happy. They don't make me not happy by doing it.
Fair. So how much of yourself, I know that, let's say that this is like, would you say that this is like 100% like BEEZ online is 100% BEEZ? So like, if someone were to meet you IRL, who's known you in VR, what would that experience be like for them?
Oh, like, would they meet BEEZ or like IRL BEEZ?
Exactly.
I try to keep some of the energy, just so it's not like, who is this person, like, I'm sitting with? But for the most part, I try to let people know, like, hey, I know you're on the way, but I'm super nervous. I'm gonna be really weird about it, just so you know. And they're like, oh, that's fine. I'm like, thanks. I'm either gonna be really quiet or talk your ear off. There's no in between.
Gotcha. So it's gonna be kind of 50-50, and that will fluctuate depending on how things go.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I get nervous when I ramble.
Well, I'm sure you have many things to say. There's nothing wrong with sharing your thoughts and rambling a little bit. As long as you think it's worth saying, might as well.
Yeah.
But you don't ramble.
I mean, I don't know. I say weird stuff.
I think everyone who is on VRChat is, we're all a little bit weird, and I think content creators especially are we're definitely going to say some weird stuff, because it's just in our nature to try to be entertaining, to really kind of draw people in and be and just have people have a good time. So so we do say a lot of weird shit, but we do it all in good fun in most cases. So you called VRChat a video game.
Yeah.
How, like, do you I like this question a lot. I ask most of my guests this question. VRChat as a video game, or a platform. How do you see it?
I would label it an MMO, because at the core of it is a video game, but not not like normal people would think, like a video game. Like there's no storyline, there's no plot. It's a social platform video game, which is what people that play MMO, it kind of devolves into that, for me at least. It's like, oh, I'm high enough level, I don't care about doing this anymore, I'm just gonna hang out and talk to people. Yeah. So it's a non-conventional video game, heavy on the social aspects. Because you can still play it, but there's no, like, in-game.
Is there?
Oh shit. I know people retire into booth avatars.
You know, I think that's an interesting question. Like, is there an in game? Because like I think the in game is different for everybody.
You fall in love, you move, sell your stuff.
Yeah, you know, like the in game could very well be you quit VRChat.
Yeah.
But it could also be you stick around long enough to kind of figure out exactly like who you are and you know, come to like understand yourself better, and you become a guide to, you know, helping other people, you know, enjoy VRChat in a more fulfilling way, just like you were lucky enough to do so. You know, it's like you said, it's very heavy on the social aspects for sure, but at the end of the day, you know, we make our own end game. If you know, I would say most of my guests I prefer to call VRChat a platform, but I still do think the idea, the concept of you know, it being an MMO does fit the idea of it, and even like for me personally, like I do feel it as though like I've had many arcs in VRChat.
Yeah.
And like I like my experience in VRChat is the game. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very much like I'm here to do whatever it is that I'm here to do at this point. I'm here to experience what I experience for the duration of that which I'm here for. And then when I leave, I'm no longer living that life. So so that's why I asked you earlier, like this, like I'm curious to, I guess, to what degree would you consider, you know, VRChat a second life? Because again, you're very well versed in gaming, and you know, what exactly does that mean for you in terms of, you know, like your experiences here?
Having
Like,
it be a second life?
would it be a second life for you?
I'd say it got pretty close for like a while. You know, I don't really get on much anymore unless there's an event going on. But you know, I've fallen in love on the game. I've made friendships in the game that carry outside of being online, to the point where it's like, oh well, I want to move closer to you. Like, if y'all are gonna like have kids, like I want to be your neighbor. Like I want to have life, future. Because if the internet went out tomorrow, it's like, well, how am I gonna like talk to you? So I think it's interesting to have those outside relationships from it come into play, and you know, there's a lot of experiences.
Let's talk about VRGang a little bit. Let's talk about
I love them.
Yeah. So if I am remembering correctly, you were introduced to VRGang in 2021?
I want to say early 2021 or late 2020, but when I first joined, I was too scared to say anything. So I spent like, I want to say the first couple of months just not even looking at the server, like, oh, they're scary, they're content creators, like I'm scared. Until one day I was just like, hey, I hung out with you guys enough, what's up, hi.
I think that's pretty
And that
fair.
was like late or early 2021.
Okay, got you. And so how did you get in? If you can talk about that.
Back then it was a safe space for like content creators. How it was explained to me. It's like, oh, it's this group of content creators, kind of like a space outside of their communities to like kind of hang out, relax, collab, share ideas, things of that nature. And I was like, oh, well, I haven't streamed in like forever. So like, and they're like, oh, well, like, I'm starting streaming. They're my friends. I'm in there, and you're gonna be on streams with me. So like, you want to get back into it? Like, join. I was like, okay. And so I joined.
Okay.
It
And
was super nice even back then.
gotcha. So when it comes to just VRGang as a group, I guess how did your role in VRGang kind of evolve from the time when you made yourself known to I guess till now?
It's like convoluted, but it just kind of, for me, it was, oh, I get to hang out with these cool people and I love them. And then it just kind of slowly, I've just been around a long time.
Exactly, which is
And
gotta know the deets.
at a certain point, it became what it is now. Like we have the system in place for people coming in. Because back then it was Wild West. People just like, here, join this. It's like, okay. But after a while, as more people joined, it kind of like, for me at least, being at that start where I joined, it kind of felt like, oh, well, we used to have so much fun. Well, I want to have that much fun again now with all these people. And so it's like, okay, well, we need to like have parties. We need to like start doing this. And who's a better person to do it than the person talking about it? So me and Deer just kind of got together one day and was like, all right, we're going to make worlds. We're going to organize stuff. We don't care if people show up or not. We're going to do it. Say that we did it. Say that we tried. And that's kind of how me and Deer kind of got to the places we're at. I just took control one day. I was like, Jax, I'm doing this. And he goes, okay.
So what was what was VRGang like for you? Like once you started hanging out with people, like what was it like back then? Like back in the Stone Age of VRChat. I mean, I guess it was more not. I guess the prehistoric age was like 2018, 2017, 2019. I guess you could say that. I guess the Stone Age would be where you were
Pre-war.
Yeah. So what was what was it like? What was going on in VRGang during that time, and how were you a part of that?
We just kind of like meet up and hang out like we do now, just like on a smaller scale. Like that truly optimized world, we'd go there, hang out, drink, party. This is also like during COVID, so like all the people were just there all the time, we bonding, having fun. And then I didn't have full body yet, but people were slowly getting the trackers. So some of them would be in a cuddle puddle by the mirror, and I'm like, frick you guys, what are y'all doing? Stop cuddling, let's hang out, come on. It would make me so mad because I wanted to cuddle. But yeah, we would just get on and be stupid and play games. Freeze tag was one we played a bit. Murder, I love murder. Out
The
of
game.
context, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, murder mystery.
The game. Yeah.
The game. Yeah, we just like a little family. It was really nice.
Do you feel like as time has evolved, like do you feel that any of that has been lost? And I guess I'm sure, like, I know that you're playing a very like key part in keeping that feeling alive in a lot of ways. So I guess what are your thoughts about like how things were back then, and like how things are now? Like where's how have you changed, and how has VRGang changed in the process as time's gone on?
In some ways, it's still the same. Like at the core, like it's very much still the same message. It's a place for content creators to come, collab, share ideas, you know, be a part of community. But from my personal experience, it's still kind of the same, but since there's more people now, it's people that don't get on anymore, like the super OGs. They're like, well, who are these people? And the newer people are like, well, who are these people? So there's like, for some people, there's a loss of comfortability to kind of. We used to have a thing called 3-second pictures, where people would just post pictures for 3 seconds and then like delete them.
Mm-hmm.
That was a wild west for the server. We used to have like VC nights where sometimes we turn our cameras on and just kind of like hang out and be like, oh my god, that's what you look like.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time I got really drunk on a VC night because I made a bourbon club, because I really like bourbon and whiskey. And I was like, oh, look at this one I have. And I'd like taste, be like, oh my god, it's so good. Look, I got this one too. And I got really drunk accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were all like 100, they were like 100 proof. And I glued $1 to my forehead. And everyone told me not to, but I did it anyway.
Oh no. Wow.
And I woke up with it. Yeah. So it was really chaotic and cute. And I want more VC nights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there's there's definitely like I would say like a more like a stronger vibe when you have like a smaller group of people. It's kind of easier to cultivate that kind of family vibe where like everybody knows everybody and like everyone like wants to hang out with everybody. And there's definitely that feeling. I'm relatively new. Only what 4 months in, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Only just recently did my first kind of major thing to like actually like prove that I care about VRG, to some degree, just kind of like I chose, like I wanted to help out with the VRG news, and it was a lot of fun. Like I literally I had a lot of fun. I would love to do it again. I have no problem doing it again. Just kind of like being the the funny entertainer person who's like being very like I have theater experience too, so like you have the theater desire to do that, and you do a lot of role playing stuff.
I did stage work.
Okay, cool, yeah, but yeah, you know what I mean, like just that feeling of wanting to like be a little like flex those acting muscles in a way. It felt like that, and it was a lot of fun to do. But yeah, with regards to just like being a part of VRGang, it's it definitely does have that feel of community, people doing things together. Obviously we have the monthly parties and such, and that's really great. But for people who may be new in VRGang, not so much like me, I guess kind of like me, since I'm still pretty new.
Yeah.
I guess what would you say to like anyone who who's been a part of VRGang for a while and maybe fell out of touch with what's been going on, or maybe hasn't shown up to many parties, and they kind of want to they want to feel that community, they want to get back into things.
A spark again.
Yeah. So what would you say to them?
That nothing's really changed. Like it's still at the core, like the same stuff we've been doing since COVID. There's just new faces, and we don't just let anybody like into those spaces. We try to keep it very relaxing and safe and welcoming to anyone that comes in. I feel like everyone's awesome. People that we've met so far, people that are around but not in. It's been the same, it's just different. It's not so close-knit where you can be like, oh, it's just like 10 of us chilling in a world. Like, no, there's like 80 of us now, but they're still cool people. We would enjoy them.
Yeah.
Like, let's come back for like a little bit.
Yeah. I admit I am a kind of a lurker. just very, very, very busy all the time.
Mhm.
But I personally, like, I agree. Like, there are definitely a lot of really, 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 really cool people in VRGang, and like the people who who are just coming through are just great. They're very, very cool, very talented people. So, but I also
Mhm.
know that there are a lot of people who feel like they still feel social anxiety. Like it was very weird for people to tell me when I kind of introduced myself that they're like, "Oh, I've seen you, but I was too shy to come over to say hi," that
Mhm.
sort of thing. And again, like you've been a part of VRGang for a long time, so like very much like I think there are many people in VRGang who probably would love to talk to you, but they're like, oh no, it's Queen Bees. It's there's no
Queen bees.
like we can't like how can we ever have a conversation with her? What would you say to people, who just in general, who may be a little bit too skittish or shy to come say
I
hi?
love people saying hi to me. It makes me feel so valid and cool. So please come say hi to me. Because if no one's talking to me, I'm just running around like, oh, I hope my friend spawns in. Where's my best friend at? I have like comfort people that I just like attach to in lobbies until I get drunk enough to be like, whoa, hi people I don't know. You want to be friends? So say hi to me. I don't bite. I'm not mean. I'm very sweet. I'm the mom of the group. I make sure everyone's doing okay.
And speaking of,
Unless I get overwhelmed.
yeah, well, in that case, how does do you have any tells of like you being overwhelmed so people know to like give you some space?
Oh, I just ignore people.
You just what?
I'm
Oh,
so bad. I just ignore people.
oh, okay.
Well, mainly on Discord. It's like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm not replying to anything. And people are like, you hate me. It's like, no, I don't. I'm just so many messages. There's so many. I woke up to like 23 DMs one day, and I was like, no,
Holy
we're not going
shit.
to do this today.
Wow.
I
From
love
the
you
same
guys.
person?
No, different people.
Oh, wow.
All different people, different things. I'm like, I can't do this today. I just woke up.
It's hard being popular.
Or like, sometimes I like leave lobbies to be like, okay, this is too much. I'm gonna like poof somewhere else for a little bit, different vibe, different people, and then come back.
Yeah, I definitely do that too. I'm pretty notorious for sticking around for a good bit of time and then just poofing. Because I also I don't get overwhelmed, but my social battery is just kaput. There's like I have no more to give, and for me to just stay there is just going to be detrimental.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I definitely understand. I definitely can relate to just kind of poofing, piecing out, for however long, when you get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely like it's no shade at anybody. It's just the introvert in me
Yeah.
because I definitely am introverted. Would you consider yourself one?
I am in my heart. I try to like be social for people, because if I like go mute like in lobby, like okay, I need to like just listen to music. Like I don't want to leave. There's nothing else going on. I'm just gonna mute, listen to music, chill out. And people will come up to be like, "Hi, Beez," and I'll just kind of wave, and they're like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm good. I'm just having a minute. I love you. It's fine. Because if I'm upset, I will cry. I will unmute and be like, I'm so sad. I'm a drunk crier.
Well, okay, it's very, very good that like you know yourself very well. Like you know like what you like, how different things affect you, which is I think it's very, very good to know that, especially in social spaces a lot. But you also mentioned that you don't like loud music. Like you mentioned in IRL situations, you're very kind of like you weren't really too comfortable in that space. So how do you? I mean, obviously we can turn down music, and I guess that's the answer.
I do.
We can turn down music in VRChat. So yeah, that's the answer. My bad. Yeah, easy fix. We can't do that IRL. Yeah. So So in general, like, I'm very, like, God, I was going with something. I was going with something with that. Um, so I think it's very, very good that that people have a chance to kind of hear your perspective on just like having people come up to you. And we were talking about you being introverted at heart, but you're actually an extrovert. Then obviously that would be the answer, that you're extroverted.
Is it like ambivert? What's the middle ground?
Yeah, like
I can force myself.
okay, so like me. Like I'm very introverted, but obviously I'd have to be extroverted to do something like this. Like I have to be sufficiently extroverted to do this. Yeah. So it makes definitely makes sense. So so yeah, you can be extroverted, but you are mainly introverted.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Got you. Yeah. Can relate. Absolutely can relate. So, yeah, I think it's really good to know for people to be aware of, like that they can just come up to you and say hello. Because I don't like, there's like this weird hierarchy type thing that forms in our minds about people.
Yeah.
And we forget that they're just people. And we have to, like, I have to actively remind myself that they are just people. But I think a lot of people do suffer from the idea of like, well, even if you can overcome the idea that they are just people, what if they ignore me? You know, type of thing.
What if they're mean?
Yeah. So I think it's really, really great that like you've expressed that like you're generally a very, very like nice, very approachable individual, and you know people shouldn't be shy to come over and say hello.
Because I'm shy, so if they don't say hi to me, I'm gonna be too shy to say hi to them. So if they don't make the move, I'm just gonna sit there and be like, man, they look cool. I wish they could talk to me.
Have you ever, have you ever overcome that shyness and said hi to someone? I mean, I guess you did that in the DMs with me, when you contacted me. But any other time, like
DMs are easier.
Really? Okay.
But when I'm drunk, yes. I've made so many friends drunk. Like, the person that got me into VRChat, Snow, I'm friends with them on VRChat now as of last year, and it makes me very happy because I was drunk and I was like, oh, friends now.
What constitutes a friend in VRChat to you?
Someone who's nice and is very like. So my best friend IRL is motherly in a sense where she's not shy. So when we first met, she basically grabbed me by the arm, like first day meeting her, like, we're friends now, and just dragging me along, like, do you want to do this? Just very, I don't know, considerate. And that's how I try to be like, oh, like, are you gonna join the game? Like, come on, come with us. Like, no man left behind. So I think that's nice.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Got you. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. All right. So, have you? I've heard of people doing purges of friends every so often. Have you ever felt the need to do that?
I have. I did on New Year's.
And so
sometimes I would get really, really drunk and just add people in random lobbies.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But how do you know which ones were random and the ones that you actually, got to know, became friends with,
So I I tried to do it every New Year, so that I have like a whole year to be like, okay, you're all my friends list, so we met one time. I've never seen you in another lobby. You've never requested on me or like requested to join. So after a while, it's just kind of like, I still have some people on there that I'm like, their name looks so familiar that I don't feel comfortable deleting it. But maybe next year I might. Yeah, just people I don't like recognize, or even if it's like a name, it's like I have no clue who this person is. I'll like click on their profile and be like, look at their bio, if there's Twitch links, anything like that, to be like, oh, okay, they just changed their name, or oh, okay, that's who this is, or I'll unfriend them and then see them in a lobby the next day. That's how it goes, right?
Right. Yeah.
Be like, hey, you unfriended me, and it's like, who are you? It's like, oh, I'm this person. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have only done that maybe once, maybe if that. I still have a lot of people on my friends list from like when I first started VRChat. Do you have anyone like that?
I believe I do. They don't get on anymore, but I try to keep them for like sentimental purposes. Because on VRCX you can like see who your first friend was. So I keep them on. Same with like my favorite avatars. Like I keep my very first avatar like favorited.
Same actually.
Yeah. But I don't like scrolling so much, so I do like to clean it up every now and then. And then I had a loot arc, which was weird. So I had a bunch of people that just wanted to touch me where I pee. So I got rid of them.
Fair.
Like, don't request on me, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, join. And it's like, hey, what's up, baby girl? Like, no, we're vibing. Get out of here.
Oh gosh. Yeah. You know, we all have arcs to our stories. You know, again, we spend enough time here in VRChat. We're going to, there will be arcs, points of our lives that, you know, that change, that evolve, and that kind of point to decisions that we made, you know, way back when. And that's kind of the nature of just kind of existing here. And yeah, it's really fascinating, I think. I've always been very fond, or rather, I've been developed inside this really interesting idea of like, you know, every time we log into an MMO space, I would say, more specifically, I guess most notably VRChat, but I think it can apply to all MMO like spaces. That like every time we log into that space, we leave data of ourselves behind, and that every time we log into that character and have experiences there, we are building up this this container. This cache. That's actually a really great term, thank you. This cache of information about ourselves existing in this space, and it builds up to a point where it's a person that may be recognizable for someone that we'd meet IRL. Like the version of ourselves that exists IRL is much different than the person that we formulated in this space, because the more experiences that we have in these MMO spaces, the more that we leave behind ourselves, pieces of ourselves that build up in a completely new version that is us, but it's based off of the experiences and the trials and tribulations and the drama and the joys and the meetings, like everything that encapsulate that username, or you know, that character or that avatar that we were using for however long. You know, it all creates this kind of cache, this story about ourselves. Especially in a very social space like VRChat. It's the stories that we tell ourselves, and we're all kind of just on this very strange stage, just trying to make sense of, you know, we live according to the rules of the world itself, and we just kind of we are building up this story about our existence.
I like that.
What do you think about that?
I love that. That's a good analogy. I never thought like in depth of like logging in, and every time you do, you're like leaving this footprint and like building this cash and reputation and like persona online. Well, not persona, because well, some people maybe, but yeah, I like that.
Thank you. It's a theory I've been kind of building up over time. I tend to bring it up during my podcast because I think VRChat is a perfect example of it. I'm a firm believer of like many people finding a version of themselves here that they knew existed but didn't know existed. And the only way you find like a second version of yourself and ultimately create a second life here is by creating a completely new version of yourself, which is thus my theory of what I just kind of, explained.
Yeah. This is V5.
Yeah. It's I think it's very fascinating, and I love kind of seeing what my guests think about that idea as I'm still formulating it, but I think it's pretty well done. Where it's getting to a good point of
pretty hashed out.
Yeah, because enough of my guests are agreeing with me on it. They see and they feel what I'm describing. And speaking of feeling, do you have phantom sense?
I used to, like really bad. It kind of deteriorated with like the loot arc because I feel like I used it up. But sometimes I do. Like now it's mainly like an auditory thing. Like people that like go to whisper in my ear. I'm like, it makes my kidneys itch. Don't do that.
I see, yeah.
Or if someone's like, hey, watch this. And they're like, I'm staring at them like doing it. Then it's like, okay. So like thighs and like the ears and neck. Like that's the only places.
So relatively selective. Did you always have phantom sense from when you first got into VRChat, or was that developed over time?
Day one I had it, and it was really bad. Like anywhere of my body was like so like off-putting and weird. Be like, don't touch me. And it's kind of like devolved into no matter what, like the ears and neck, and then if I'm paying attention to it and giving it focus, like the legs. But other than that, like that's all I have anymore.
So when you say, well, I mean, I guess one can imply what we meant by used it up. But but also, like, I mean, you also said that you don't really log into VRChat for anything other than events these days. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. So perhaps would it have anything to do with, I guess, your duration of time spent in VRChat in general? I imagine that's kind of fluctuated over time.
It's possible. I know like how busy like I got for a while. It's just kind of like, I gotta get in VR tonight. Oh man, that's right. Or like for streaming, like I'd get on to stream. But I need to get on more and just like hang out because I miss that. It's like the point you're working so hard for to get people to like hang out and come together, and it's like, well, I'm so busy doing that, I don't do that anymore. So.
Yeah, I think there's I guess. Would you say that you got burnt out and you need to pull back, or is it just a matter of you being busy? In your case,
I think it was being busy. My fault. One of my red flags is that I put a lot on my plate, and like I'm super like driven and like working hard, and then I'll be like, I'm tired. This is a lot of stuff, and then I just get burnt out. But more recently, this time, January, I had a bipolar episode. And that just kind of like drained me. So I've been like recovering from that and burnout.
I see. Do you... When you say bipolar episode, if that's okay to talk about,
Yeah.
can you kind of walk us through that? Like what does that look like for you, and I guess what does that mean in your terms?
Like there were signs that were like I should have like saw that were building up to it. Like the mood swings, the irritability, the excessive alcohol did not help. But it got to the mood swings, all of that buildup, all the stress, all of the overworking was the perfect concoction to kind of like set things off of what had been building up. And so it was I was really drunk. Vodka drunk. Vodka's not good for me. I'm very angry with vodka. But really drunk, and then I had actually gotten into a fight with, I won't say their name, but someone very close to me over like nothing. Like I got emotional. I responded emotionally to it, and that kind of set things off. So that added on to me already going into an episode and drunk. And even IRL, like when I got out of VR, I was so like out of it and crazy that I went into my living room to like lay down, like because I was cold. I get really cold when I'm drunk. And I laid down in front of the heater. I didn't even know my brother was in there with his wife. I just like sat down thinking I'm the only one in there, like, oh yeah, sleep time. I apparently like laid over onto his shoulder, and he's messaging my mom like, come get your daughter. She's drunk. She's so drunk. My mom comes in there and she's like, hey, come on, like go get in bed, like get up. And they all told me that I tried to fight her. So that's why I'm not drinking as much anymore as well, and have been taking a break, because I just, such an emotional response to everything that just exploded. So, and then went alcohol for BEEZ for a while. I've been de-stressing, taking time away, unplugging, and it's been really helpful.
That's good. That's really good. That's I think it's very mature to kind of, acknowledge that, something went down, and what steps will you take to, take care of yourself so that it doesn't happen again. That's I think that's extremely mature of you.
Mental health first.
Yeah, definitely mental health first, especially when like we were saying before, like we're essentially like we're here doing things, living, like creating this cache of ourselves, and it can cause kind of dissonance with our own minds, with like our experiences that we have here, and just how important they are to us. And not to say that they're not important, but they definitely can be very important, and they can cause just various triggers, things that we wouldn't expect to happen. So very, very responsible. I think that's great, and I'm happy that you're recovering.
Yeah.
So, like, is that something that you've gone through once before, or was that like a one-time thing, a first-time thing?
I usually try to be really good about keeping it at a controllable like amount of like. Because I'm very like self-aware. I don't know if you've like picked up like on that.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So like when I'm emotional, I'll be like, okay, well I need to like take a step away, because if I fuel it anymore, it's gonna be bad. And I've always kind of been like that throughout my life. Like if it's like a relationship, like, hey, I know like you really want to talk about this thing because we're having like an issue, but I'm feeling emotional about it, which isn't good because I'm reactive. And I understand that I am, so I need to go sort it out myself and then come back so we can actually talk about it instead of me reacting emotionally to all of this. So I try to like keep it. I can be crazy. I don't like it. I've come a long way from teenage me, but I know the signs, and I know like how to control it and keep it at a normal person amount.
Which that all comes with maturity and time. You learn yourself, and I think it also comes with just wanting to be a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. Always like self-improving, always aiming towards that gaining control over your emotions, and not have your emotions have control over you.
Right.
and building up a repertoire, a system by which you can recognize the signs and ultimately take steps to protect yourself so that you don't end up quote unquote crazy, which
Right.
I think all people have a level of crazy to them, because we're all capable of doing bad things. It just depends on like what triggers it and like what's the motivation behind it. But we're all capable of being irrational people. I think that kind of comes with the whole aspect of being social beings. A lot of what we do is irrational, and a lot of what I think the average person does is driven very heavily by emotion, especially in situations that involve alcohol, narcotics, blah 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 blah. It's that much more important to be mature and to have the experience and the understanding of yourself, so that you can take steps to protect yourself and also the person or people that you care about. So
Yeah, exactly. My relationships are important to me. So if I can minimize catastrophe happening, because I want to be like a good person. Not to say that people with mental health problems aren't good people, but when they're emotionally driven, they get pretty nasty. Like, I've been nasty to people, and that's stuff you can't take back, Like, the next day you'll feel completely fine and like normal and be like, oh well, shit, that happened. So I prioritize like relationships over my feelings. Like, if something's bothering me, I'll take like a week to like make sure it's not my hormones making me like feel a certain way about it, or if it's just me reacting a certain way. I like to know that I'm sane and have come to a conclusion about it before addressing it.
So like giving you your space to sort out your thoughts is best. And I'm sure like with the people who know you, that are close to you, they also know this, because I'm sure you've communicated that to them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Communication's important.
Yeah. Absolutely. Definitely important. For sure. But yeah, like hearing about that is very, very interesting. I have a very I wouldn't say cursory interest in psychology. I have a very like intense interest in psychology, and also philosophy. Like I really enjoy learning why people do things, understanding people. That's largely why I do this podcast. I want to.
Twins.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's why I love talking to people in this manner, because I want to get to know them, and like I kind of want to continue to ask. Like I want to go further. I want to understand you more. Like, did you know that you suffered from bipolarness from childhood, or I guess was this kind of a new revelation for you, a recent revelation for you?
I feel like it's always kind of been there, but I never like knew what to do with it, or do about it, or put a name to it. But then you'd have like these emotional outbursts, which some people just like, oh, you're just a teenager, you're just angsty, blah, whatever. But to the degree that it was happening, I tried to write up, oh, it's just my period. Like, oh, my period just gets so bad, I get so crazy. And for a while, I had gotten on birth control, and that did help me not get crazy around my cycle, but I had to get off of it for health reasons. But more lately, the last, I would say, maybe 10 years, it's really kind of like stood out like, okay, this is what it is. And then just kind of like adapting to that. Because I don't have health insurance, so I can't go see like a therapist about it. I have been to therapy, but undiagnosed, unmedicated. But online resources definitely help, like BetterHelp things, articles, just kind of learning more about it, so that way I never liked being like the person to blame it. I'm like, oh, I was just crazy. Like, I don't like having it be an excuse, so I try to make it manageable for myself. Because if you've ever seen like Migo episode, you would be like, that is not Beez. I think I do a good job.
I mean, I would say, like, I haven't witnessed, that version of you, but, again, I think it's important to be self-aware of the aspects of yourself that are a little bit, like, to be able to anticipate enough about yourself and to learn yourself enough that you can, like, do the work. Like, it takes effort to understand why you react in certain ways and why you respond in certain ways to certain stimulus, and to take and to not make excuses for that. It's not like to say, oh, I have this thing wrong with me. I guess you have to just deal with it.
Yeah, making it everyone else's problem at that point.
Exactly, and rather than taking it on yourself and being like, well, do I like being like this? Is this something that I want to improve on? Is this helping my friendships? Is my relationship suffering from me being this way? And to, I think a lot of people, especially in America, are like, well, I don't have health insurance. Well, I guess there's nothing I can do about it. But, clearly, you've taken steps to at least, be curious and to understand, yourself better so that you can have a healthier, experience healthier relationships and ultimately just be a better version of yourself rather than simply accepting that you are who you are or that you have
a lot of self-reflection.
Yeah, like, do you enjoy time by yourself? Are you someone who is comfortable alone?
I'm a hermit. I don't like living alone. I like knowing that someone else is like around, but I don't like seeing them all the time.
I think that's fair.
When I lived with my ex, we had like separate spaces. We would only really see each other when it was like food time or like bedtime. Which is nice. We both liked our space, and that was communication.
Yeah, very, very, very introverted tendencies. I have a feeling I'd be very, very similar in that way. Yeah. Aside from, mutual cat tendencies that we seem to share. Just from an introvert's point of view, I think definitely just having our own space is nice. I'm very, very comfortable being by myself also. But yeah, that's okay. That's very, very interesting. Do you? Let me see. What?
Pumpkin.
I forgot what I wanted to say, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But we can jump to another topic actually.
Woo!
Let's talk about streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got in. I would imagine you, based on what you told us earlier, you got into streaming based on the content creators that you watched. Also encouraged by VRG peeps.
Yeah, the VRChat aspects of it.
Gotcha.
So when I first started out, I was IRL. I did face cam, English like games, variety. And that stemmed from my friends at the time being like, oh, you're a girl, this like so easy. So I could just stream. And I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't want to just like exist as a woman. I am a woman, I don't know. Kind of weird. But I got into that and I did that for a little bit. And then I stopped because of college and other things. And then for VRChat, it was seeing everyone just like have fun and interacting. Like, well, I want to do that. I want friends, because Hat Kids community was just people that enjoyed roleplay and the characters, but also like the people that would join the community, join in on games, hang out,
And I was like, well, that's what community should be. It shouldn't just be like viewers and creator, unless you're like huge, you know, like too many people to do that with. But I always like that, having a space for like, you're here to like see me, but also like I want that community and like friendship with them. Because like every viewer in Hat Kids community was like a friend to some degree. They would join, be like, hey, can I join on games? It's like, yeah, sure, dude, come on, let's go. And I don't know, I think that's good. Obviously, you get people that are weird sometimes, like they're social stalkery, but you just kind of like have to pick those out. And I wanted that, so. Well, not the weird stuff, but I wanted the community and friends. People to always like play with and hang out with.
Nice. And that's what got you into doing VRChat content creation, yeah? Just having that kind of vibe. And that's why you switched away from IRL, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I guess, how has it been going for you? I know recently, like I said, you've been recovering.
Yeah.
So that would explain your recent absence. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. That and like a health scare, but that's taken care of now.
Okay. Well, thank goodness for that. I won't dive into that because clearly that seems a little bit personal, so I won't dive into that. So I can already tell. No worries. So I guess with regards to streaming as a whole, when did you start streaming? And I guess what do you what were you I guess what was your if you had any goals? I guess what was your first goal? At what point, if you can remember, when you start to have a goal for streaming? I guess seeing it as something that you really wanted to do.
At first it was kind of for fun because, I got teased about it so much. Like, oh, just do it. And I was like, fine, I'll do it. So I got all the stuff, I like prepared and planned, and my first official stream was on a Valentine's Day. I can't remember the year right now. It was either 2018 or 2017, one of those. But I started that and just kind of having fun with it. I didn't really have a set goal for it besides just do it. But once I got into VRChat, especially within the last year, it's like, well, I want a partner. And I've been doing this so long. I've made so many great friends, and it's something I enjoy doing that I go big, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So, I want partner. Just to kind of say like, yeah, I did it, woo, I can retire, woo! I just make like fun stuff. Ultimately the goal is to not do so much VRChat. I want to, when I do get back into streaming soon, because I have plans, I want to do like VTubing with my VTuber and just play whatever kind of games and kind of do a mix of streaming and recording.
All right. Sounding a lot like me.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar strategy. Plan of attack. Yeah. So I guess so you wanted to go for partner just to kind of like I guess when did you
push myself?
Yeah. So and so like when did you realize that partner was I guess something that was like I guess attainable?
Just like the support I get from people, because I'm a very self-negative person. So it's like, oh, well, that's why it's like, oh, people that are like scared to say hi to me. It's like, why? I don't do anything.
Same, girl.
I'm here. But that is, I don't know. People are really nice, and when I do stream and I do it consistently enough, I think I do pretty well. And I know that if I did it like consistently, it wouldn't be that hard. But I also know that I do a lot of other things, so I wouldn't be able to devote much time to it, so I want it, but I'm not gonna like break my back to like go for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just kind of like a target to aim for. Just in generally speaking, not something you're like actively aiming at, but just one of the many targets that you're looking to aim for. Okay. Do you have any sort of like genres that you're maybe looking to stream once you come back? Any, or is it just gonna be like full on variety? You don't want to like focus on anything specific other than VRChat, obviously.
I'll still have some VRChat streams because my cat's meowing. I'm sorry if you hear her. I want to do Stardew Valley because they had a big update and I love that game. I can play it for hours, something to be comfy and just zone out to, while still also being able to like pause and like read chat and interact with chat. But for like recording stuff, I really like the group of friends that like find these really bad indie games and just full dive into it and just be silly and goofy. I think that's where some of the best stuff comes from, is just having fun, not going into it being like, all right, here's the plan, content, let's go. But just, nope, have fun. Be as crazy as you want.
Yeah, the best content.
It's recorded.
The best content is the content not planned.
Yeah.
Like
It's all recorded, there's no streaming. You can edit out whatever's not TOS.
Right. Okay, so actually, like, it just clicked to my mind that you were saying that, like, you wanted to do, like, recorded stuff. So you mean, like, just, you want to be a YouTuber? Or, like, to have a YouTube channel that you're posting stuff on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. So are you going to, stream? Like, I mean, obviously, if you're just recording the content, you're just recording it to post up on YouTube. But I guess what percentage will be like streaming? What percentage will be like, I guess, doing the recording stuff? Because like it's like, you know, the recording stuff is still a good bit of time. I guess if you're like having fun or whatever. I mean, it should be relatively easy to kind of to just record and edit together. But so that's your strat, essentially, like to create to stream on Twitch and create recorded content on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a secondary kind of thing. Like, guys, today we're gonna do this game. So like, if you guys want to play, y'all guys can stream it if you want. Better be on push to talk, cause I'm gonna be recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think you may be the first guest that I've had, or maybe the second or third that showed a direct interest in like creating like recorded content. I think one of my guests had an interest in making shorts, which obviously is, you know, usually can be pre-recorded. My shorts are never pre-recorded. All of my shorts are stuff taken from my streams.
Yeah.
But there are some people who like just record shorts. They write the script and they record it that way. So just and that like it's definitely more work to have to edit something together. So that's the thing that keeps me away from it, and that's why I stick to just doing shorts that are taken from my own streams. Because it's more time, more work when you have so many other things to do. So so how do you plan on balancing your desire to pursue partner with content creation on YouTube as well? And like you know, I know that you can edit the video, because I believe you have video editing techniques also. Yeah. So so how will you balance you know, the time spent towards each?
Well, I think streaming would be like the for fun part, but then the content part would be like, because right now, like, I do have like clips and stuff from like stream or whatever that I put on like TikTok and YouTube, so it would be like a very occasional kind of thing, just to try to get traffic to stream, because with YouTube, you know, you have to do it for like a couple years before you get lucky and like hit algorithm or like something. So I don't know, it's just like a little fun little back project to be like, oh, we played this fun game. Because have you ever been playing a game that you're not streaming at all, no one's streaming, and then something hilarious happens, and you're like, why is no one streaming? Why is this not on the internet? That was amazing. I want to watch this over and over again. Like, I don't care if no one else watches it, but I want to watch it. That's where the pre-recorded comes from. You can take moments and kind of like, oh, I turned myself, make them, edit them, edit out the silent, boring parts.
Of course. Okay, all right. Interesting. So yeah, your strat actually isn't exactly like mine, but I think that's good. Like, you should do 100% what comes naturally, and most importantly, what's most fun.
Yeah.
Like having fun, like doing what you're doing, and to essentially like enjoy the content that you're making so that it has integrity. I think that's one of the most important things when it comes to creating content. Like you can't making content just to make content is probably the worst thing that you can do.
Yeah.
The second,
to see you're having fun.
Yeah, like the second worst thing you can do is do it because you think you're gonna make money from it. That's just not the best, But like having fun, enjoying yourself, and doing what's within your means to do, I think is pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And that's
Your
great.
audience will find you.
Yeah, I'm pretty living proof of that. That's for damn sure. So yeah, like I'm looking forward to seeing you kind of get back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can collab at some point. If I can, jump in. If there's a game that you are interested in playing, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm pretty picky about games,
yeah.
though. I'm pretty picky. So, but yeah, that's awesome. It's good. It's really good to know. So I guess all in all, you're just kind of like you're having fun with the whole streaming thing and the content creation thing. There's no like, you have goals, but they're just like I'm gonna put that there. That's like a sticky note that I'm putting on my refrigerator of other sticky notes, because I have all these other things I'm going to be doing anyway. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay. Understood. All right. Let's talk about the some other content that you do. You said you're a digital artist.
Yeah.
Did you create the logo that you have on your Abby?
My little guy right here.
Yeah, that.
So the 3D part of it I made originally, but then I wanted it textured, like with Substance Painter, because it's before I learned Substance. But the mesh was like not really set up for that, so I had Deer remake it. So this is actually Deer redoing it and texturing it for me, and it's so much better. Oh my god, I love him. It's my bestie. But the original logo design kind of came from taking like PNGs and being like, okay, this is a good shape. I want ears on it, my name and the font, and just kind of like designing it that way. But I do draw. I draw anime women, and I like drawing the boobies. Things like that.
All right. So you where would you say you specialize in? Is it the character illustration part? Okay.
Yeah.
And you're using those skills to facilitate other aspects of art that you've done, like digital and otherwise.
Yeah.
Did you start off as a digital, or were you traditional?
I was traditional at first. I was in art club throughout like middle school. I even had some work featured in the Performing Arts Center back in Georgia, and I lived there. And then transitioning from that into digital art before like getting my iPad and like drawing pencil. I would design book covers for my other best friend because she would write books. And so I would design the book covers for her with like free stock images and like PNGs and be like, oh, look how pretty it is.
I used to do similar stuff like that too. Not so much book covers, but you know, just like little graphical stuff on websites, like message boards and things like that, like little like icons. I used to make animated icons, like profile pictures. That was like kind of like my thing back in the day. So yeah, I can definitely relate to that. I still utilize my my skills as well. But we're not talking about me. We're talking about you. So yeah, like that's so cool. So you started off traditional, moved into digital over time, kind of like naturally through osmosis. And what do you specialize in? Like what's your strong suit?
Just anime women.
Okay, it is
digital
anime
anime
women. Okay.
women. Yeah.
Gotcha. Nice. All right. So, you've been doing it since you were like a child, basically?
Oh yeah. At the artist gene in my family. My mom went to college at the Art Institute of Atlanta.
Oh, so it's.
I remember coming home and she had our etch and sketch and she was really high. But she had got the etch and sketch and did the perfect Pikachu on it. We got home from school and she's like, look at this. And we're like, oh my God, Mom.
That's nice. That's super sweet. I like that. Interesting. Okay. So it's in your family, being artsy. Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess what made you realize that it was something that you were interested in?
Always I was a very, very introverted kid. Like, I didn't smile, I didn't talk. When I would play with dolls, like, I would just voice them in my head instead of outwardly. Just that very shy reservedness. So I was always like drawing and my mom was also very overprotective, so like I wasn't even allowed to like go to church with friends. Like it was
Wow.
you hang out with your cousins. Yeah. And so between art club and then I was in chess club, I was on the newspaper in school, I did the comics, environments, I did a lot of stuff, very nerdy. And then we learned animation in 6th grade computer class, the Flash animation, and I played with Flash animation in 2013, 2014, when I was like in my early 20s, before Flash animation got like obsolete and they took it away.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very cool. All right. Hmm. What's the thing that you're most proud of having designed?
Like ever?
Like ever?
Oh wow. I would say one of the OCs that I have, which is not this one, surprisingly. Um, it was almost made my OC into VRChat, but it was kind of I couldn't portray her like with my personality back then. But I had this character ever since I was like 5 years old. Well, not probably five, but like very small child. Um, and she had like white hair. It's because of Inuyasha. I love Inuyasha. It's my first anime. But that was my OC based on that universe, and she's kind of been carried over through so many different fandoms and has stuck through it. Like even like today, I'll go to bed at night and like I'll have my little Delulu story time sleepies where it's just like lore. This is the story in my head, but I'm proud of her. One day I'll introduce her, maybe, outside of a D&D character.
Got you. Okay, okay. Cool, cool. I think, I mean, honestly, a lot of your creativity does seem to stem from, being very introverted and just being very creative and curious, which is, I think that's how most of us kind of start. Like, um, so I can relate. I've had a good bit of my own experiences as well. So, you know, being creative is definitely something that's, I guess it's kind of sort of in your blood. You can teach yourself to be creative, but you kind of just have to have the initial, like, spark to really kind of dig into
You have to keep
something.
doing it.
Yeah, and you have to be dedicated enough to keep doing it as well. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, cool, cool. So, like, I want to talk more about the other stuff that you create. Um, if you don't mind me asking.
Stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blue site stuff. Yeah. So, how did someone as introverted, as shy, and reserved? I think I said. Did I say reserved? Did I say reserved?
I've said that before.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So how did someone so reserved, so shy, someone so introverted, um, and someone who does suffer from body dysmorphia get into doing that? Like doing that
Well,
kind of
I've always
content?
had my angles. Um, it's definitely over exaggerating some if you lay a certain way, you get more of a curve in your side.
Of course.
So try to tell people oh my god, I can't wait to meet you, and I'm just just that you've seen my boobies. Everyone's seen my boobies. It's all smoke and mirrors on the internet. I lay a certain way and it looks like I got huge milkers, and that's just not. It's not. But I mean, I've always been hypersexual in a way. I don't know where that comes from. Probably trauma somewhere, who knows. But after a while, it's I'm just posting them around everywhere for free. So people kept yelling at me why are you just make an OnlyFans? What are you doing? I'm I don't know. I just feel bad about charging people money to see it. I've been doing it this for so long. I'm just proud of I got boobs. They're pretty boobies. I like my boobies. And so yeah, I just finally made one, and I was really shy. I never posted anything on it, and then I started to, and you just kind of build this comfortability with it. Because I never posted videos before until this month. So it's just something you have to work towards, and people are definitely very supportive. Some days are really good, and you can take with the body dysmorphia. I'm 4'10" and I weigh now. I've actually lost weight. I weigh 79.5 pounds, which is not because I had to change my diet because of the health issue. So I couldn't drink no soda, no meat, no dairy. Basically just vegetables, fruit, which is not productive for gaining weight.
Yeah.
So I actually lost weight. And I'm below 80 pounds, sadly, but I can eat food now.
Okay.
So that's being fixed. But sometimes I used to be able to take a million pictures and then look through them to be okay, this one looks exactly like that one, delete it. I don't actually like that one. I would take 50 pictures and delete all of them, because I would just look at it and be you know who Eugenia Cooney is, right?
Who?
Eugenia Cooney, she's the super emo, very skinny girl on the internet.
I have not heard, no. No.
Well, she basically just bone, and sometimes I feel I look like that, and I just get so I don't want to put that on the internet. So I have not the normal one where people think they're bigger than they are, but I feel I am just bones, and I hate it. And so sometimes it's hard and some days are like really bad.
Mhm.
But for the most part, I don't know. It works. The
So,
outfits help, the angles.
so sometimes you can find those moments that click, and you can
Mhm.
have those moments where you're looking at what you're seeing and like, oh yeah, I actually like how that looks. That actually looks kind of
Mhm.
hot. I'm not going to delete that later,
Yeah.
type of thing, you know.
I actually took one recently where it looks like because I'm laying on my back and my boobies are like gravity, of course, they're more in my chest than hanging.
Mhm.
And the way I'm laying and the way like I've been spreading my legs a lot recently because it's been really hot. But just the way like the picture lined up, I looked like boyfu, and I'm just like, oh, I'd be such a cute male wife. And that made me question
Yeah.
a lot of things,
Yeah.
and that's why I had a chat with a friend like the other day about things.
Mm.
So yeah,
Alright,
I'm just
alright.
like a person piloting a woman's body.
Okay. Got you.
Mhm.
Is that and was that the realization, or was that the kind of insight that you
Mhm.
realized?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It gets a lot weirder in some parts, but that's a story for that's a long story.
Well, honestly, I don't think it's weird. To be honest with you, like like I said, like we have our experiences. We create a version of ourselves that doesn't exist in reality here, and that can wake us up to various things. Not saying that, like, VRChat is the reason why you came to this conclusion. I don't want to say that.
Mhm.
But it's more like it allows us the freedom to explore who we are and our mindsets, and it gives us the room to question ourselves, whereas before we didn't feel as though we had the room. But experiences like an MMO like experience like VRChat gives us the space to kind of
Mhm.
rethink who we are, and also even in the context of us living in real life, and
Yeah.
and so that's kind of where that I guess where you ended up, in that regard.
Mhm. Yeah, one may like label it gender fluid, but I obviously express myself very feminine because that's how that's how the internet knows me.
Mhm.
But sometimes you just don't feel like a lady sometimes, you know what I mean?
Sometimes.
My job is to be women, but
I need to put more brain work into it, but that's just been like a recent like discovery of mine. Because I'm very attracted to gay men, which is unfortunate because they do not like me. It's always been like that. So I've been questioning myself lately.
And questioning yourself, you absolutely should continue to do. You absolutely should do that. It's important. We're all changing. We all go through. We discover new things. We think about ourselves. We self-reflect, and it makes sense to I don't think it's completely outlandish for people to discover things about themselves that may completely like buck the norm of what people expect out of you as an individual. And I wish more people would continue to work on themselves and to find ways of evolving their identity in a way that is best suited to them. Again, like constant self-improvement, constant self moving towards self-actualization to the highest degree possible in our lifetime. That's what I believe personally. That's my personal goal. That's why I can say that so freely, because that's what I pursue. But I think everyone should seek to do that, and not just simply don't accept things as they are. Always be seeking to improve and grow and be a better version of yourself. That ultimately leads to you living a life that you can be proud of.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm 100% there with you on that.
Hell
That's
yeah.
actually one of the main focuses of Beautiful, beautifully said.
Can you share a little bit more about the polytheism?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I grew up Christian, Southern Baptist, I know.
Hey, I grew up Christian too. It's all right. I'm non-denominational. It's all right. I've been there.
But I had an arc IRL. I don't want to call it an arc because that's like weird. It's still like consistent in my life, but I delved into paganism, and it just kind of felt like it didn't really resonate as much. But I knew I wasn't like gonna be a devout Christian. So polytheism is the worship of like many gods.
Yes.
And so, which also means you work with different deities, so it does kind of still play into like Wiccan and like paganism, just like a cult in general. And it still kind of circled back around to Christianity because Infernal Lucifer, that's one of the deities that you can work with. And I know people will be like, oh, it's the devil! But it's the devil! But his beliefs is that you should always improve yourself. You should always be working on yourself, question yourself. Don't accept things for how they are because there's always more to it. He wants you to like learn, like not like reading. It's nonfiction. Like if you read fiction, like that's fine, but he just wants you to learn, like knowledge, improving yourself. Reaching inside, like a lot of shadow work they call it, but just learning about yourself, things like that, self-discovery. So that's why I like him. He's not like a bad guy.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's one of the main ones.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Like that's like for me, like I'm always interested in learning more about, you know, where people's beliefs lie and like what's actually driving their motivation to be the person that they are. Because like at the end of the day, you know, people ask themselves a lot of questions. People don't realize that a lot of the answers to their questions are found within. Like if they would do the work to ask themselves the questions rather than kind of like posing it outwardly, we have the answers to the things that are like not who we want to be, the things that hold us down, the things that hold us back. We know why we're being held back by them, but we don't want to accept them.
Yeah.
We don't want to explore them. We're afraid of them sometimes. And I think it's really great to understand people in a way, or for a person to understand themselves in a way that allows them to overcome those limitations so that you can be an even greater, even better version, even like, I guess a more well-formed version of yourself because you did the work internally to know yourself better. I think that's awesome.
You got the clay, you're just like molding it.
Yeah, we should always be like molding ourselves and revisiting the mold many times throughout our lives. Change shouldn't be something that we should fear. It should be something that's embraced, as difficult as it may be sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a long time too, but it's not linear. You just gotta keep working on it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So, explain hypersexual to me.
So with the way that I'm attracted to everything. So like straight, gay, man, woman, they, them, like I'm attracted to like people, you know? But at the same like aspect, physically, I'd say I've been having sex since I was 14 and I'm like 30 now, and I've only been with 7 people, like in like physical context. Some of them were one night stands, so I don't really want to count them, but whatever. Well, like I get really, can I say horny?
Yeah, say that. No worries.
I get really, I want to say sexual, like hyper stimulated. but I won't like do anything about it. Like I don't want to seek out the act, if that makes sense.
It does.
So in that regard, I would say sex isn't important to me, but sexuality, I'm very expressive and like fueled, and I don't know, I just like things of a sexual nature without actually wanting the need to participate in it.
So what do you do when you're not participating in it? How do you? How do you manage that? I mean, I'm not asking like I know how that question may sound. I know that question may sound. That's not what I was asking. But
so if I get horny with no desire to act upon it, I either just kind of like suffer and be like, oh well, because like the feeling's nice, like the feeling of being horny.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful. Sometimes, you know, it's because I can get myself off in like 2 minutes. And sex is just kind of exhausting sometimes, especially since while is that like pansexual? Is that the right term?
Yeah. Liking pretty much anybody. That's pansexual.
Yeah.
Pretty good term. Yeah.
I'm also like demisexual. So like I need a connection with someone, and that's not really something I come by. I also have a boyfriend, so he's not here. But I don't know. Even when it comes to sex, I feel like I don't get enjoyment of getting off, but I like the intimacy from it. So it's very emotional, sex is to me. But the feeling of being horny, like I'll either just like take care of it, boom, done, I'm a normal person, or just, I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll go to bed.
Yeah.
I'll just play some music. I'll do something else.
Yeah,
Which is weird because I do sex work for a living.
Right. So like that's again, that's the more interesting part. Like you don't let your sexual desires run you. Like you are in control of what you do and how you do it. You don't go out just because you're feeling some kind of way. You don't go out and just kind of mess around with just whatever. And I think that's very respectable. Like I think it's important to like have that self-awareness and to know exactly like what you want. And I think it's normal, personally, for people to want to have some level of connection with the individual that that they want to have sex with. Some people, they can just kind of like do it and it's no biggie. But yeah, I mean, I think there's obviously everyone's different, and no way is the wrong way, but I think as long as it's consensual and two people are enjoying themselves, makes sense to kind of go with that. But also, it also makes sense to just not really engage, just kind of like acknowledge it as something that is there, and just kind of do what is best for yourself and the values that you hold as an individual. So
Yeah.
a little bit of self-control can go a long way. Which I think
Exactly.
many people seem to lack in this day and age. A lot of people seem to really seek after, just I want everything now. I feel this way now, and I must deal with this
They
now.
want being counted.
Yeah. Like, what are your any additional thoughts with regards to that? Because like you said, sexuality is beautiful. So like you can maybe talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. I mean, sex is just, I like to look at it as like art. Because, I mean, at its core, it's like creation. Like, the point of it is to, whatever.
Procreate. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking breeders.
Okay.
But outside of like that, it's become, well, even like back in the day, like no one gave a fuck. They're like, whatever, I'm gonna do what I want. This feels good, I'm gonna do it. Which is cool, and it's beautiful that people can find pleasures in life through their like bodies, whether it's like with themselves or like with other people. But I mean, like with having that control, because I mean I've had one night stands and I regret some of them. So it's a learning thing that you do. I did have a connection with them, but yeah, maybe it just should have stayed like not that way. But yeah, just people are just like, oh, I feel good, and like you're a person that I have this, like, for me at least, a connection with. Then let's go feel happy and do stuff together, and it's just feel good. I don't know.
Do you think that
sounds like cheesy when you talk about it too much?
No, I don't think I honestly don't think it's cheesy. I think it's something that a lot of people don't experience for themselves, or maybe there could be a good number of people, a large swath of people who just also think it's cheesy. But I would venture to say there are not many people who think the way that you do about sexuality, and like view it in that kind of context. As something that's meant to be kind of artistic and shared, with a deep kind of intimacy with the individual, you know.
The intimacy is amazing.
Yeah, I think it's like feeling like you're connected to the person, and like you want to be near them, kind of thing. I can most definitely understand that, and I think that
without sex.
Yeah, even without, which is why I was going to ask you next, like that feeling of intimacy. It's not limited to just sex, right?
Oh no, yeah, it's like just laying with like your person, let's say like in bed. I don't want to like say too much that's going on YouTube, but oh, just like I picture like laying there with like when I've dated women, it's very emotional, whereas men usually it starts off physical and leads into emotional territory.
Right.
But I can like picture laying there with like a partner. I like picturing them as women because
they are quite nice. I do lean towards women myself, so hey, no shame.
I like like the snuggling, like no clothes, and I'm short, so I like to snuggle at the waist and like the tummy area in particular. Just like like kissing like all over, and that's sweet and like cute that you just want to like put your smooch like I don't know, it's cute. I love it. It's adorable and it's connective.
I don't know, I just want to kiss a lady on her tummy. Maybe bite sometime. But smooch.
That's incredibly adorable. I can definitely appreciate that. You know, if it were like I can definitely see like there's definitely a distinction between, you know, dealing with more masculine people and more feminine people. It's just the experience, just it feels different, and like you lead towards different things. The path towards, you know, getting to where you want to, like, the more emotional, like intimate stuff with dudes, like you said, it's a longer path. And it is, for me, it's kind of hard to decide. You know, as someone who's bisexual, it is pretty hard for me to kind of like decide like do I want the emotional intimacy that feels really nice and sweet and warm of a woman, or do I want the physical like I guess rough intensity of like a guy that can, you know, be very kind of comforting in that way.
Exactly.
It's kind of hard because like I don't know. How is that for you? Like, very similar?
I think it depends on the person in question too. Like more often I like lean towards men. Unfortunately they are straight men. But I like because I'm very submissive and like I'm baby, so I like that protective like caregiver type energy that like men usually provide. But with women, I like that emotional intimacy that you don't often get from men. Sometimes there's men that can give you the emotional intimacy, like they're very in tune with their emotions, and there are women out there that are a little bit more masculine that can give you that feeling that being with a man could. So it just depends on the person in particular, because I've like checked back on like my dating track record to see like if I have a type. There is none. Like none whatsoever. like personality, body type, like it's just all over. So it's just who you get that like special connection with to be like, okay, like you have something that I need in my life, that I'm lacking, that I can get from you and learn how to be better from you. And hopefully they see the same like in me. So that's how I see relationships.
I wish more people saw it that way. Just, like, I guess like having a type is kind of a demerit because then you're like stuck to that type. If you have a type, you can't allow yourself to just freely love.
I feel like people have a type are more interested in dating for like the mating, I guess, aspect of it. I mean, I have a type in women. I can't say that, but it's women. Can't get her pregnant. Can't get anyone pregnant. But you know, I like the alt girls, the hippie alt girls. That's my type. That's my dating track record with women. For men, I don't care. But the alt girls are everything. They will fight people for you. They're emotionally supportive. They're just everything.
So like, you know, are those type like the more masculine type girls? Is that?
They're more dominant. Like I dated a girl who was bi, but she tended to be more dominant, but she also had the submissive side that she could get from men, which was fine because back then, you know, we could something with 2 holes.
Yes, of course.
But yeah. But she was like the artsy person, the let's look at the stars, let's talk about astrology, like that's, you feel that part of me. It's really romantic and super sweet.
Interesting. Well, I certainly didn't know those things about you, and of course, like, I've been learning a lot about you this evening, which has been super cool. Like I think we have a lot in common that didn't know that we have in common. I think. We are now at the point where I got a couple more questions for you, because we reached the tail end of things. Yeah. So where would you like to be in 2 years?
Ooh, I want to be. I plan on getting into voice acting, so hopefully that goes somewhere. And I want to do more like VTuber stuff. Like VRChat's fun, but I think just being in VR is way too much work. I'd rather just be at my computer, and do content that way. And it also like broadens the variety of games that I'd be able to play. But to do that and do the voice acting. Like I'll still do like VRChat stuff, but just not predominantly.
So you're trying to move away from VRChat content and just become more variety based?
Yeah, because I want VRChat to be like downtime thing. Because like what we're doing aside from like the camera and stuff is how a lot of the friendships were formed in VRG back in the day. Just those small lobbies slowly falling asleep or dying off, and it's just like me and Harvey left alive, drunk, just chatting about everything. So a lot of the people that are closest to me, we've ended up one-on-one just conversating for hours.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the epitome of VRChat. Like that's like a perfect representation of like what it means to like, you know, truly build, you know, meaningful friendships here. It's very much built on time spent and experiences shared, and by doing so, you get to really connect with people and building relationships. But like voice acting and doing you know, streaming stuff, the recording stuff with your friends, and you just kind of want to be like in a good kind of like rhythm of doing that.
Yeah, a good swing of things.
Okay. do you have any particular goals about voice acting? Because as someone who actually, I'm a professional voice talent. I've done a number of things myself also. So do you have any particular goals that you want to, or like an intention of doing it?
I liked it. Well, I have a friend that cosplayed, and every time she would cosplay a character, she would get like a Funko Pop of that character. And I thought that was like really endearing and like special. So I want to be able to like voice characters, whether it's like indie, video game, maybe one day like something great and big. But just be able to like, oh, here's this character that was in this like indie game that I voiced. I'm gonna cosplay as it. I'm gonna like make art of it. Like I just want something reflective of me, and to have that in my book of like, I am this. This was me. Just like for fun.
So pursuing an interest out of the curiosity to say that you tried it, maybe did it for a little while, and it was fun, but at least I did it and tried, even if it doesn't like, go anywhere. Just to have the experience.
Yeah.
I can definitely respect that. That's a lot of what guided me to a lot of the skills that I've learned. Just wanting to learn them for the sake of learning them. Interest, just curiosity. So, love that. And if you could say, if you could leave your viewers off with one more thing, one thing to kind of take away from this conversation tonight, what would that be?
Don't be afraid to try, even if you think you're going to fail, because if you don't do it, you're just not going to do it. You're not going to have a story, and that's what your life should be about, is being able to be like, I did this and I had fun, and it's something it's something to like bring up. Be like, oh, like you did that, like, well, here's my experience with doing that. It opens the door for a lot, even if it goes nowhere, if you think you failed at it. Stop, kitty. And just be a good person. Be accepting, even though you may not understand something right away. Always be open to everything, all of the time. You never know what you're gonna like. You don't know if you're gonna be the same person even in a year.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I honestly, I agree 100% with that sentiment. Always be learning. Always be willing to try something, even if it's scary. And don't let your fears, don't let your fears keep you from trying new things, and don't let your dreams, be memes, I suppose. Don't don't let yourself miss out on an opportunity to try something new. Just to say that you
You're
tried.
the only one holding you back.
Yeah. Agreed.
We couldn't have Johnny Depp if he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? No Ryan Reynolds if Ryan Reynolds didn't start somewhere.
Yeah. And we all gotta start somewhere. So we're all gonna be bad at everything, when we're first starting out.
Yeah.
That's just a given. So yeah, definitely don't be afraid to try. So with that said, where can people find you?
They can find me at twitch.tv. I have 2 Twitters. One is my sexy one. The other is more professional one, because I eventually don't want to be like, hey, employer that I'm voice acting for, here's my other Twitter with my boobs on it. So I have a professional Twitter. I have YouTube. I have TikTok. I have the Funny Blue site. I have Discord, which don't add me on Discord, please.
I mean, you can. I don't know. Maybe. I'm a little bit everywhere.
Do you
Mainly on Twitter.
can we do you remember the URLs for them? I know like everything is like related to BeezleBoop, but do you happen to know them offhand? If not, I can find them in post.
My Twitch is just BeezleBoop. My Twitter, my main one that I use is Boop Beezle. I don't remember the other Twitter. It's like the BeezleBoop or something. I have a card somewhere that has like everything.
Okay.
Which I will send you as well.
That works for me. Totally fine. Yeah. All right. And where people can find me, if you're interested in keeping up with what I'm doing, my Twitch is twitch.tv/Neferty. That's with 2 eyes. You can also find me on Twitter at Neferty with 2 eyes. I also have a YouTube. If you're watching this on Twitch, you can find me on YouTube at Neferty. Very, very easy to find me there. And if you're already on YouTube, congratulations, you already found me there. So find me on Twitch. That'd be really, really pretty pog. And I do have another Twitter specifically for the podcast. It is Sweet Talking Pod. At Sweet Talking Pod, you can find more information about upcoming guests and just more ways to keep up with our current current guests and past guests that we've had, in the past, obviously. And of course, lastly, you can find me on Patreon if you want to support what we're doing here. Find me on patreon.com/Neferty. That'd be pretty pog. If you could check that out if you want to support me. And of course, even if you can't financially support, that's perfectly fine. You can just like and subscribe here on YouTube. I would really appreciate that. That's perfectly fine. Leave a comment. Those work too. Any manner of support really does help. We're still a very, very small business, at least as of this recording. So I really do appreciate any and all support that you decide to give. And I'm letting you know now that there will be bonus questions, there will be bonus content that will be available only on Patreon that we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking with Beez for a little bit while longer. So, but that conversation will only be available on Patreon. So, I just want to let you all know if you're interested in receiving, that the bonus content from this episode as well as past episodes. You can get access to all of that and more via the Patreon. All right. And with that said, we're going to say goodbye to Beez. Thank you so much for joining me on the Sweet Talking podcast. I really do appreciate you taking the time. It was very, very nice to get to know you, learn more about you, learn more about, how your thought process works, the things that you've done. There are many things that I feel like we could have talked about more. There's actually a lot more that I felt like it was there to talk about, but maybe we'll get to it in the bonus stuff. Who knows?
Yeah.
But thank you so much for being on the podcast tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I certainly do hope that that all of you who tuned in definitely enjoyed tonight's podcast. If something resonated with you tonight, I certainly hope that you will leave a comment below, let us know, and I hope you look forward to the next episode of the Sweet Talking podcast. Thank you so much for your continued support. I've been your host, Neferty, joined by BeezleBoop. Please go follow her, check her out. She's doing a lot of content, a lot of various content, a lot of creative content, and at the very core of everything, she is exploring her creativity and not being limited by excuses. She is overcoming any and all excuses and seeking to be a better person. I think that's worthy of attention. So please go check her out. And with that said, we'll see you all next time in the next episode of the Sweet Talking podcast. Take care. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
like what aspects of VRChat kind of led you into, you know, getting into Blender stuff, which then led you to, you know, finding VRGang, which then led you to everything that else that you do in VRChat right now. Sorry about that.
I can't tell. Okay, I'm alive again.
Okay.